Hi everyone, this is Surya Sabedar, working as an assistant professor from the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences in Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. I am handling the course of Soil and Applied Microbiology for the Department of Agricultural Biotechnology. So in this class, we are going to discuss about cheese and its production and its types. So cheese, it is the fermentative dairy product. So it is too delicious and it should be a favorite for many kids. And it is served in functions or any other traditional festivals. So cheese should be consumed by a lot of people in the world. So in this class, we are going to discuss about what are the microorganisms involved with the cheese production and how it will be classified based on the presence of microorganisms. So introduction about cheese. So cheese making is began about 8,000 years ago, and now there are in excess of 1,000 cheese varieties worldwide. Manufacture of most cheese varieties involves combining four ingredients. The ingredients are milk, rennet, microorganisms, and salt. The primary objective of cheese manufacture originally was to extend the shelf life and conserve the nutritious components of milk. So while all acid coagulated cheeses are consumed fresh, most rennet coagulated cheeses undergo a period of ripening which can range from about 3 weeks. So high densities of microorganisms are present in cheese throughout ripening and they play a significant role in the maturation process. So cheese production. So in this cheese production, we will discuss these topics. So first one is what are the definitions for cheese? Then ingredient used for cheese. Then what are the bacterial cultures? So especially lactic acid bacteria that should be used as a bacterial cultures. And what are the general manufacturing procedure for cheese? So cheese definition. So cheese is a fermented milk product that likely dates back to Neolithic times. So historically, serving a means of preserving milk. Today, a fine cheese is viewed as a delicacy rather than a means of survival. The ingredient used for cheese production. So the main ingredient in cheese is the milk. So the milk, the cheese is made by using cow milk, goat milk, sheep milk, buffalo, or a blend of these milk. So the type of coconut used depends on the types of cheese desired. So for acid cheese, an acid source such as acetic acid, the acid in vinegar, or glucono-delta-lactone, a mild food acid is used. For rennet cheese, calf rennet, or more commonly a rennet produced through microbial bioprocessing is used. Calcium chloride is sometimes added to the cheese to improve the coagulation properties of the milk. So bacterial cultures. So lactic acid bacteria. So lactic acid bacteria such as Lactobacillus species. Okay. So primary source of energy is the lactose in milk and the primary metabolic product is lactic acid. So there is a wide variety of bacterial cultures available that provide distinct flavor and textural characteristics to cheeses. So starter cultures are used early in the cheese making process to assist with the coagulation by lowering the pH prior to rennet addition. So the metabolism of starter cultures contribute desirable flavor compounds and help prevent the growth of spoilage organisms and pathogens. So cheese is also the spoiled one. So these metabolism of starter culture will helps to prevent the growth of other organisms. So that means spoiled organisms and pathogens. So typical starter bacteria. So already said that lactic acid bacteria, so such as Lactobacillus, lactis species, or lactis or Ceremonis and Streptococcus salvarius, the subspecies is thermophilus. Then Lactobacillus delbrueckii, subspecies is bulgaricus. Then Lactobacillus helveticus. So these are all the typical starter bacteria that used in cheese production. So adjunct culture. So adjunct cultures are used to provide or enhance characteristic flavors and type textures of cheese. So cheese is also having a different flavors of that. Okay. So based on the flavors, the cheese is also classified. Okay. So common adjacent cultures added during manufacture, including Lactobacillus casei and the Lactobacillus plantarum for flavoring cheddar cheese. Cheddar cheese is one of the type of cheese, or the use of Propionibacterium frutandrici for eye formation in Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese also the one of the type of cheese. Okay, so by later we discussed what are the different types of cheese. Okay, then adjacent cultures can also be used as smear for washing the outside of the formed cheese, such as use of Bacterium linens of Gruyere, Brick, and Limburger cheese. So yeast and molds are used in some cheeses to provide the characteristic colors and the flavors of some cheese varieties. So Torula yeast, it is called Torlopsis species, okay, is used to the smear for ripening of Brick and Limburger cheese. So examples of molds include Penicillium camemberti in camembert and brie, and Penicillium roqueforti in blue cheese. So some of the fungus such as mold. So fungus having two type of character. Whether it is unicellular means that is yeast, and it is multicellular means that is molds. So Penicillium camemberti, it's especially used in microorganism adjacent culture in camembert cheese. Okay, and brie, camembert and brie cheese, and for blue cheeses, Penicillium roqueforti is the only organism that is used as adjacent culture for blue cheese. So general manufacturing procedure. First one is general cheese processing steps. First one is we need a standardized milk. Okay. Then pasteurized or heat treat milk. So what is pasteurized milk? So pasteurization is the process by means of artificial heating and cooling of milk without affecting their quality of milk. So this was given by Louis Pasteur. So you treat the milk by 62.8 degrees Celsius for 20 to 30 minutes. Then cool the milk. After pasteurization, you will cooling the milk. Then inoculate with the starter and non-starter bacteria and allow it for ripening. Okay. So add a rennet and form curd. Okay, add rennet and form curd. So after forming curd, so cut the curd and heat. Okay. So at the time of heating, the whey will happen. Then you should be drain the whey. Then texture, you will form the texture of the curd. Then dry salt and brine. Okay, add a dry salt or brine solution for giving the flavors. Then form cheese into blocks. Okay. Then storage and give aging. So aging means you have to keep it with the like to preserving the cheese for several ages. Okay. Then package. Okay, package. So we go and see with one by one of the manufacturing procedure. First one is standardized milk. So what is standardized milk? So milk is often standardized before cheese making to optimize the protein to fat ratio to make a good quality cheese with a high yield. So second one is pasteurized or heat treated milk. So depending upon the desired cheese, the milk may be pasteurized. I already said that it is artificial heating and cooling of milk without affecting their quality, or mildly heat treated to reduce the number of spoilage organisms and improve the environment for the starter culture to grow. Some varieties of milk are made from raw milk, so they are not pasteurized and heat treated. So raw milk cheeses must be aged for at least 60 days to reduce the possibility of exposure to disease causing microorganisms. So that is called pathogens. They may be present in the milk. So cooled milk. So milk is cooled after pasteurization or heat treatment at 90 degree Fahrenheit by Celsius, that is 32 degrees Celsius, to bring it to the temperature needed for the starter bacteria to grow. So if raw milk is used, it must be heated to 90 degree Fahrenheit. So that is 32 degree Celsius. So inoculate with the starter and non-starter bacteria and ripen. The starter cultures and any non-starter adjacent bacteria are added to the milk and held at 90 degree Fahrenheit. So that's 30 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to ripen. So the ripening step allows the bacteria to grow and begin fermentation. So this is, I already said that it is a fermentation process. So at the time of fermentation, so what condition is required means there is anaerobic condition required. So here the complex substances was converted or break down into simple substances. So which lowers the pH and develop the flavor of the cheese. Next one is add rennet and form curd. So rennet is an enzyme that acts on the milk proteins to form the curd. After the rennet is added, the curd is not distributed from approximately 30 minutes and so a film coagulum forms or the film coagulum forms. So this is the rennet. Okay, so while adding the rennet like this, so it forms as a film coagulum forms. Okay, so how much takes time? So that is the 30 minutes only. Okay, the next one is cut curd and heat. So the curd is allowed to ferment until it reaches pH as 6.4. So the curd is then cut with knives, cheese knives into small pieces and heated into 100 degree Fahrenheit. So the heating step helps to separate the whey from the curd. So drain whey. So after cutting the curd with the cheese knives, so we should have to drain the whey. So the whey is drained from the vat and the curd are forms in a mat. You see now the whey is drained. So you see here. So here the whey is drained in from the vat and the curd is forms in the mat. So that is called yogurt. Okay. So next one is textured curd. So the curd mats are cut into sections and piled on the top of each other and flipped periodically. So this step is called cheddaring. Okay. So the cheddaring helps to expel more whey, allows the fermentation to continue until a pH of 5.1 to 5.5 is reached, and allows the mat to knit together and form a tighter matted structure. So the curd mats are then milled, that means cut into smaller pieces. So dry salt or brine. So for cheddar cheese, the smaller mild curd pieces are put back in the vat and salted by sprinkling dry salt on the curd and mixing in the salt. In some cheeses variety, such as mozzarella cheese, the curd is formed into loaves and then the loaves are placed in a brine. So that is salt water solution. So the brine solution is also called as salt water solution. So form cheeses into blocks. So the salted curd pieces are placed in cheese hoops and pressed it into blocks, then to form the cheese. Then store and age. The cheeses is stored in coolers until the desired age is reached. Depending on your variety, cheese can be aged from several months to several years. So I already said that the raw milk that is only for 60 days. Okay, that means 2 months. Okay, the packaged cheese may be cut and packed into blocks, or it may be waxed. So guys, here see this picture. This picture will show the all the steps. So first one is raw milk. Then the raw milk will be used for pasteurization. So after pasteurization, it should be allowed for cooling. Then the standardization and the filtration of the raw milk. And here you should add the adjacent cultures and rennet enzyme. Okay. So why we add rennet enzyme? So rennet enzyme will forms curd within 30 minutes. So while we have to preparing curd in home, it takes I think 3 to 4 hours for making the curd. So but it give more curd yield by adding rennet. Okay. So and that by the fifth step is this curd and the whey will form the and cutting the and you should be drain the whey. Okay. Then cutting and stir it cooking. Then the curds will be mixing and the salting, then pressing. Okay. And you should allow it for ripening. So ripening, so I already said that the age is around several months to years. Then the ripened cheese should be stored. So salting means it is brining. Okay. So types. So now the cheese process is completed. So now we will discuss about different types of cheese. So the types of cheese, how the types will become. So based on the usage of different types of adjacent cultures and based on the texture. Okay, the cheese will be classified as different types. So there are several types of cheese which are grouped or classified according to criteria such as length of aging, texture, methods of making, fat content, animal milk. So what source of animal milk we used? Okay, and country or region of origin, etc. The most commonly and traditionally used is based on moisture content, which is then further narrowed down by fat content and curing or ripening methods. Soft cheese. This is the first type. So cream cheese are not mature. Brie and Neufchâtel or soft type cheese that mature for more than a month. So it will classified based on the maturity. So it take mature for more than month. So this is a soft. If you see this guys, this is picture is the soft cheese. So this is the cheese knife. Okay, especially used to cut the cheese. Okay. Then semi-soft cheese. So these are all based on the texture. Okay. So semi-soft cheese, how it comes in. So the submerged group monastery cheeses have a high moisture content and tend to be mild tasting. So some well-known varieties include Havarti, Munster, and Port Salt. So this soft cheese, semi-soft cheese, hard cheese, that should be comes under based on texture. Okay. Next one is medium hard cheese. So cheese that ranges in texture from semi-soft to firm include Swiss style cheeses such as Emmental and Gruyere. So these same bacteria that give such cheeses their eyes also contribute to their aromatic and sharp flavors. So other semi-soft to firm cheese include Gouda, Edam, Jarlsberg, Cantal, and Cascavel. So cheeses of these type are ideal for melting and are often served on toast for quick snacks or simple meals. Semi-hard and hard cheese. So harder cheese having a low moisture content than softer cheese. They are generally packed into molds under more pressure and aged for a longer time than the soft cheeses. Cheeses that are classified as semi-hard to hard include the familiar cheddar originating in the village of Cheddar in Cheddar is one of the family of semi-hard or hard cheeses. So including Cheshire and Gloucester. So whose curd is cut, gently heated, piled and stirred before being pressed into forms. So guys, hard cheese. Next one is hard cheese. So see this picture, guys. So this hard cheese, we have to difficult to cut the cheese. Okay. So grating cheeses such as Parmesan and Pecorino. So these are Romano are quite firmly packed into large forms and age for months or years. Then classification based on sources of milk. So there are different types of milk such as cow milk, buffalo milk, goat milk, etc. etc. So sources of milk. So first we have to classify mold. So mold is the one of the fungi. So for molds are eukaryotic multicellular fungi. So these are three main categories of cheese in which presence of mold is an important feature. So soft ripened cheese, washed rind cheeses, and blue cheeses. So soft ripened cheese. So soft ripened cheeses begin firm and ratherly chalky in texture, but are aged from the exterior inwards by exposing them to mold. So the mold may be velvetly bottom of P. camembert, that means Penicillium camembert, that forms a flexible white crust and contributes to the smooth, runny or gooey textures to and a more intense flavor of these aged cheese. These are all the soft cheese. So this one is cheese that is made up of molds, okay, such as Penicillium camembert. So washed rind cheese. So washed rind cheeses are soft in character and ripen in wax like those with white molds. However, they are treated differently. So how? So washed rind cheeses are periodically cured in the solution of salt water, that is brine solution, and are mold bearing agents that may include beer, wine, brandy, and species, making their surface amenable to a class of bacteria, Bacterium linens, the reddish orange smear bacteria. So that impart pungent odors and distinctive flavors and produce a film. So flavorful rind around the cheese. So washed rind cheeses can be soft, so that is Limburger, semi-hard or hard, that is Appenzelser. The same bacteria can also have some impact on cheeses that are simply ripened in humid conditions like camembert. So the process requires regular washings, particularly in the early stages of production, making it quite labor intensive compared under to other methods of cheese production. So these are all the cheeses washed rind cheese. Next one is smear ripened cheeses. So some washed rind cheeses are also smear ripened with solution of bacteria or fungi. So mostly common Bacterium linens, Debaryomyces hansi, and or Geotrichum candidum, which usually gives them a stronger flavor as the cheese matures. So in some cases, older cheeses are smeared on young cheeses to transfer the microorganisms. Many, but not all, of these cheeses have distinctive pinkish or orange coloring of the exterior. So unlike with other washed rind cheeses, the washing is done to ensure uniform growth of desired bacteria or fungi and to prevent the growth of undesired molds. So notable examples of smear ripened cheeses include Munster and Port Salat. Next one is blue cheeses. So called blue cheeses is created by inoculating a cheese with Penicillium roqueforti or Penicillium glaucum. So this is done while the cheese is still in the form of loosely pressed curds and may be further enhanced by piercing a ripening block of cheeses with skewers in an atmosphere in which the mold is prevalent. The mold from pale green to dark blue and may be accompanied by white and crusty brown molds. So the texture can be soft or firm. Some of the most renowned cheeses are of this type, each which is own distinctive color, flavor, texture, and aroma. They include Roquefort, Gorgonzola, and Stilton. So, guys, these are the blue cheeses. So, brined cheese. So, brined or pickled cheese is matured in a solution of brine in an airtight or semi-permeable container. So, this process gives the cheese good stability, inhibiting bacterial growth even in hot countries. So, brined cheese may be soft or hard, varying in moisture content and in color and flavor according to the type of milk is used. So, though all will be ringless and generally taste clean, salty, and acidic when fresh, developing some piquancy when aged, and most will be white. So, varieties of brined cheese include Windsor, Feta, Halloumi, and Syren. So, brined cheese is the main type of cheese produced and eaten in the Middle East and Mediterranean areas. So the next cheese is called mozzarella cheese. So fresh mozzarella. So cheese is one of those easy to make at home cheeses used while making variety of recipes include salads, meats, seafood, and vegetables. So other type of mozzarella, so that is mozzarella di bufala, so that is especially made for buffalo milk. Okay, also known as buffalo mozzarella, is made from domesticated water buffalo milk. So these buffalo milk will having high fat content compared to other milk, and also cheese color will be yellowing. Okay, it is commercially made from home. And next one is mozzarella frigior di Leti. So it is produced from fresh, pasteurized or unpasteurized cow milk, while low moisture mozzarella is made from whole or part skimmed milk. And last but not least, mozzarella affumicata is a smoked variety of mozzarella. So guys, these are all the mozzarella cheese. So this mozzarella cheese, it should be a real and homemade and fresh mozzarella. Okay, so you should use this mozzarella seeds for preparing any salads or any dishes in your homes. Okay, so in these classes, we are discussing about what are the different types of cheeses. So first of all, cheese. So what is the importance of cheese? So cheese will be a high nutritive. It consists of more amount of proteins, vitamins, fats. So that should be serve as essential for human growth. Okay, and this cheese will be made from different types of milk sources, and this cheese will be produced at high level in industries. So in these classes, we are discussed all those things and the different types of cheeses based on soft cheese, hard cheese like that, and also based on quality of milk. So what are the goals involved in milk by production of cheese like blue cheese, green cheese, positive into cheese, etc. etc. At last, finally, we discussed about mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese is especially made from buffalo milk in home. So these cheeses will be produced at a high level of in industries. So it is industrially important microorganisms. So will be used in cheese, such as lactic acid bacteria, so the lactobacillus species. And main thing in this class, I will be said that some of the words from other countries so by using the production of cheeses. Okay, I hope this lecture will be useful for your future. Okay, any doubt, you just contact me. So thank you. We will see you next class.